mobile nuclear launchers. And they used to have 300 people sitting around and doing it. Well, AI's doing that now, maybe, right? And they train it. Oh, that's not a mobile launcher. That is a mobile launcher. And it gets better and better and better to where it could do what that team of 300 people were taking days to do, could do it in a matter of, maybe 25 minutes. And then people are looking for specifics. Because in that time, if you're moving something, you got to be able to do it. It's the same with our business. You can imagine those machines that are running your bags through. If they know what they're looking for. It's never that simple because it's not just weapons that we're looking for, right? But you can train it to pick up certain things. And I think artificial intelligence would allow us to run that belt through very, very quickly. In both the baggage that you're checking and also things there. Artificial intelligence help us with everything. Help us with our budget, our finance. The opportunities are there. Again, can you do it at scale? Can I do it at scale at the airports? Can I pay for it? Can I afford it? AI is all over Manhattan. And when something happened in Boston, when the attack happened in Boston, those things were identified, backing up, 45 seconds, and able to identify the folks who were walking there. And long before we knew they did, they knew who they were looking for. The opportunities are there. Again, can you afford it?
A number of use cases come to mind. On our enforcement removal side, so the detention planning piece, which is a very complicated kind of business, with geopolitical factors and migration circumstances, many factors, and I think it might be helpful there. In the investigative side, there's a wide range of uses, whether it's lead generation around visa overstays or the digestion and analysis of data around transnational criminal organizations. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Any place where we have big data sets that we're attempting to crunch and produce valuable insights from, I think there's potential there.
One other thing, so the ability for that to connect the dots is something a human would never be able to do. If at JFK at 7 o'clock in the morning, one component went through, 2 hours later, another component or something went, and the machine can connect those. A human may not catch the component, and it certainly wouldn't understand that a whole weapon has been moved into the sterile area. So the opportunities are amazing.
Probably 2 more questions for the time.
Hey, this is Venkat with CCI.
Hey, Venkat.
How are you? From my vantage point, I see half your face is bright and the other half is dark.
That's probably a good thing.
Anyway, by the way, my son says the same thing. No cybersecurity. He's like, I love machine learning, but no cybersecurity. He just graduated from College Park. Anyway, and following up on the previous question, I would probably say that 70% of the people going through the bags, are good bags, so machine learning will help speed it up. And same with the ISIS mission. My question is on the mobile train. Where is the mobile train going in both agencies?
Mobility in general, or
no, mobile technology.
Sure. So, running out of tricks to employ for mobile technology, we have VPN, VDI, we have, iPhones, we provide people tablets if they want them, laptops, of course, if they don't. We have Wi-Fi in many of our facilities. So, we're pretty well buttoned up, work anywhere, work all the time, from a user perspective. Certainly there are things that we can do to improve them. I think specifically around the handhelds, lack of drive credentials is limiting some of the things that we can do with our iPhones. But by and large, we bought in, and I think it's probably the same for most of the components. We bought into pretty much all the technology you can buy into to work anywhere, work all the time. I'm not sure what's left, other than wiring people's heads directly.
Yeah, which is a concern. We're always that way. I had two big ideas when I was in college. One is no one's ever going to want one of these phones, because who wants to talk on the phone The other thing was Bon Jovi. You should never buy a Bon Jovi album. My roommate had Bon Jovi. I said, they're terrible. They're no good. Don't ever play that in my presence. All right, so Bon Jovi sold some albums. So the mobile piece, I don't know how that's a segue. I'm really very angry with the whole Bon Jovi. You can either confirm or deny. He played through their songs on guitar.
I'm picturing you with a mullet right now.
No. John Bon Jovi's a lucky guy. I like trade for that. But we don't really, so we talk about drive credentials. NDM, when I talked about the hurricane at the beginning of this thing, we had some real trouble with the hurricane, right? And our NDM failed us, right? It failed a lot of customers. And it was hard to figure out, number one, if your product's not working, number one, make sure you're open and honest about it, because that happens to all of us in the IT world, right? I don't want 5 different reasons why you think it's not working. I don't know, and I'm going to find out. It's a great answer, right? You're going to feel pressure. When I've got that going on, I get 3 different answers as to why it's not working. And we're chasing our tail because we got a hurricane bearing down on islands of people, employees, and airports. But I don't know what NDM I'm going to be using in a year and a half from now. I don't know. Because even when it's working, and that's true for all of us, right? It's not picking on any one company. What's true is it's not a native experience. Right? It's not, and I don't know when we'll solve it. And some are better at some things, but that's something out there we're still looking for. The whole department is looking for that. We're talking about what's the right place to go, where's that experience going to be, and how is it secure, but all of our users can access everything they need to access and use the phones. And it seems like it should be, you have your personal phone, you don't have that problem. We're still suffering with that, and I'd like to. I'm hoping that we're able to deliver something a little bit better in the coming year.
Russ and I have very similar circumstances. So TSA and CDP operate their own on-premise email system, whereas much of the rest of the departments and email as a service. We both operate our own mobile device management. We both have been through a somewhat rocky transition from good back to BlackBerry and dealing with that. My prediction around what's going to happen in that mobile device management space is that we're going to stop buying. It's going to get rolled, all those features will get rolled into Office 365 or Google apps, and you no longer be buying MDM as a discrete service. And as much as we don't buy spell check as a discrete service anymore. So that's where I think that's going. Now, the rub is, how many products will we go through before we get to that? And that's a dialogue we've been having with, in our case, Microsoft about get your Office 365 product to where we are with some of our MDM capabilities as quick as you can.
The other thing, I can't tell you how many vendors come in and tell me this is the greatest thing. We know how to do this. This is fantastic. And then I ask you, is that what you're using? Is that what your headquarters is using? Is that what your folks using? And about half the time, if not more, they say, no, but we're working on it. Well, how are you going to be different if you're not living it? If you're not eating the same dog food, then they're not. And that usually doesn't take long for that question to be asked. What are you using? And then usually the meetings are short after that.
So one more question.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for coming out today. I'm Dale Whitkey with a company called Innovate. Very good to hear that you see a lot of productivity and increase with Agile activity, and no doubt it has driven some higher levels of innovation with the organization. What do you see next? What do you put out there as things you need to do differently to raise that bar for the development and discernment of higher levels of innovation?
Well, one of them is really, is as you are successful, that will build more success. You'll be able to bring more customers. But, that is so critical that they're involved. You get the right people. Sometimes they don't want to give their best person to the Agile team to figure out what they need to build. Well, that's the wrong model. So you've got to take success for the credits. Like Mike was saying, if you just deliver, right, it's a customer service business that we're in, right? When things are going bad, you need to see my face, and you need to see my face when things are going well, right? The one thing I do for the shop is I don't really fix anything myself. My staff does that. What I owe my staff is to make sure that they get credit for the things that they're doing each and every day. And we get so busy sometimes that we don't take credit for the things that those folks are doing. And Agile is a great example. You know, I started to bring this, they had no idea what was going on. You know, it's like Accenture over here. In the meetings that are going on, we're delivering capability to you fast and furiously, and you don't know it. I get a call when their phone doesn't work. I get a call, you know, and that's great. But I want to make sure for everything that they have wrong, that we're also telling them all the things that we're doing right.
No, I kind of heard innovation in there as a key theme in that question, and you know, that's hard. We're under a lot of pressures for us to deliver some of the basics all the time. But you have to create some space where people can take risks and try new things and feel comfortable failing if they do. You have to find some ways to get people excited about doing different things. One of the ways we helped in that was we hired a great CTO. David Larimore is our CTO at ICE, and he gets excited about everything. And he's just really exuberant, and that spreads and helps. And he and his team are visiting with everybody and helping them find some way to find the fun and the excitement and the innovation in what they do. Again, it's about permitting some failure. So you can't chop the head off of every project manager that has a bad moment, as much as you might like to.
So, I mean, it's fabulous. Thank you for being so open and for your time.
Yeah, so let's thank Mike and Russ. And I'd also like to thank Richard for doing a great job moderating. And before we break, just a couple of things. Our next membership meeting is November 29th. It will be most likely here. We'll be putting that information out as we know more. ELC, October 29th and 31st. And remember, we have our reception next door, so if you'd like to move next door, I believe you gentlemen will stay for about 15 minutes. So if you do come up to speak to talk to our speakers, if you can make it quick and just kind of introduce yourself and then move on to allow more people to get to say hi. So thanks again to our speakers. Thank you for attending today, and we'll see you at the reception.